And then he would later tell me, of course, he never found me a boo because I was his girl in his head. In my head, I was like, all this money up in here and you can't find me a nigga, let's go. Because back then, my definition of a good man was a man who could provide me the lifestyle that I choose to live. Because as far as I'm concerned, this ain't shit. And so, I just need a nigga with money. Hey, run me that check. That's another story time for another story time, though. So anyway, that was the nature of our relationship. We would go out and eat, you know, we were friends. He wasn't friend zone. We were just friends. And I mean, I knew he liked me, but he didn't present the things that I was attracted to. I'm not attracted to a good-looking man. I wasn't attracted to a good man. I wasn't attracted to a good father. I wasn't attracted to a quality man. I was attracted to money, and that nigga didn't have any. I mean, he had money, but he didn't have no money. Yes, I'm a former gold digger, and I won't even say former. I'm still about my paper now. Only difference is me and Dre have love. Like, that's my ace. If something ever happens, I'm never remarrying because he is the best thing since ice cream. And if we have, I don't know if I'll live in a paper box with him. I don't think I'll live in a paper box with him, but I'll go pretty damn close to a paper box with my baby. What I'm saying is it ain't all about the money. And they want to talk shit about gold diggers, but if you had something else to offer besides your money, maybe we'd like you for that. So now I'm in California and he calls me and he's trying to check in on me and I'm like, nigga, I don't even live in the same state anymore. And he's like, oh shoot, you moved? And I was like, yeah, but we started talking, you know, and this is when we actually started talking. So this is 2015 into 2016. So at this point, I've known him since 2010. We've been associates. I won't even say friends, but you know, we've been cool with each other since 2010 and now it's 2015 into 16. And this is when we actually finally start talking. Kind of. We would sit on the phone till like 3 in the morning, cupcaking and stuff. Like, I didn't have no job at the time, but he would have to get up and go to work, but he would really be on the phone with me till like 3 in the morning, falling asleep, you know, just cupcaking. He makes fun of me all the time, but I told him I'm gonna have to stop sending you inappropriate pictures because, you know, I have a little boo right now and I don't want to be disrespectful to him. Oh, the pimp named Slickback looking ass. Oh man, that was something. Being a gold digger was hard work. And then one day Dre said something to me that's never been said to me before. He's like, why don't you just let me love you? And I was like, shit, Nick, I done tried everything else. Why don't I try love? But I was scared because at this point, I had bonded with Dre. And I was like, I don't want to enter into a relationship with you and things don't work out and then I lose what we have because I value this. In the time that I'm in California, I have to make my annual visit to the doctor. Make sure you guys at least get your annual visits in. Okay, ladies, insurance or not, go get that state aid if it's available and get your annuals. Make sure you ain't got no growths going on. PSA looking ass. So I come back to Arizona. October 21st is my doctor's appointment and I am on my Holapalooza. Yes, I am stopping into all the dick because I'm not getting none in California, so I'm definitely going to catch my fills. My daughter asked me earlier, is sex intimacy? No, it was just catching my fills and I came to catch them all in the great state of Arizona. I told y'all I was a hoe out here in these streets. I was not discriminative about who I gave my coochie to. So I come back to Arizona and one of my cousins picks me up from the airport and my other cousin is supposed to pick me up in the meantime when she gets off of work. So I'm like, hey, just drop me off at Lefty's at the shop and I'll just kick it with Dre in the meantime. So while I'm sitting there in that corner, the corner I usually sit in, I'm watching Dre cut and just something in my head. I was like, I'ma fuck this nigga. I sure did. So I'm like, hey Dre, what you doing tonight? He's like, nothing. I was like, can I come sleep at your house? And he's like, yeah. I was like, all right, say less. I get to his house and we watch Straight Outta Compton on bootleg and we smoke some good weed. And at this point, I didn't partake, so I was high as and we have the most intimate moment between us that did not involve sex at all. And so, I mean, like, it's some heady shit. Y'all ever have that heady shit, like, where your mind is spinning and your head is spinning? Oh, it's some good stuff. And so later when he's like, let me love you, I had to retell that story because that's an important part of our story is we had that night in October, that magical night in October that kind of shifted the tide for us. So when I'm driving to Arizona, I just know this is my last relationship. I'm not doing any more relationships after Dre. This has to work. And I was so solid in myself that this is it. It's really weird. I've never had this feeling before, but I asked Dre and he was like, I was nervous. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I was like, I wasn't. I knew this was us. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't roses. Dre has always been easy. I have always been the problematic one as far as our coming together, because I'm not used to being loved. I'm not used to being loved. You know, he wanted to love on me, and I was just like, yo, give me 50 feet. Y'all know I'm a G. And then blending. His kids didn't like my kids, even though our kids grew up together. But now the mom's back in the picture and she's poisoning the well. Our kids grew up together literally since 2010. Here we are in 2016, and now all of a sudden they don't like each other because the mom's back in the picture and she's just spewing all kinds of disgustingness. But I'm gonna leave that alone. Our kids are jealous of each other because my kids get to be with their father full time and they only get to come over on the weekend. And then when they come over on the weekend, you know, there's structure before there wasn't any, and they hated that shit. So when they say blending ain't easy, or maybe I say blending ain't easy, they say pimping ain't easy. I say blending ain't easy, and it wasn't. It was terrible. It really almost broke us. Jay and I have never really had any issues except for his ex-wife and his children. And this is just me telling our history. I don't have a problem now. We don't have any issues now. But at the time, the two things or the two factors that were going to break us were his ex-wife and his children. And everybody would be in his ear like, nobody comes before your kids, man. Nobody comes before your kids. But I was like, but if y'all was in here and y'all saw what the fuck was going on, you would understand that if he chose his kids over me, he would be choosing wrong, because they was wrong and fucking strong. And I'm not going to get into retelling the stories, but it was bad. Those of you who was my friend at the time and you heard the stories, you know it was bad. And we moved pretty quickly. We got together February 27th of 2016. We got engaged in December of 2000. I don't know the time frames. And then I think we got married in 2019, because we'll be married 5 years in a couple of weeks. So we got married in 2018. I don't know, 5 years ago we got married. We've been together for 6 years, whatever that math is. But his kids called him up and they had a group three-way call, and they pretty much was like, if you marry her, we're boycotting. And they did. His kids were not at our wedding. They hated me, y'all. And I didn't do nothing but try to, look, you're not going to mistreat my husband. I don't care who you are. You're not going to treat him like an ATM. And I'm like a junkyard dog when it comes to mine. Mine. And so, you know, they weren't allowed to mistreat him on my watch. And I get it. As parents, especially as a non-custodial parent, and you want to be a parent, I understand from the male perspective. Like, they let the ex-baby mama and they let the kids just walk all over them because of the guilt. Like, I used to be these baby daddies out here until I married a man who actually is an active father and who wants to be an active father and loves his kids. And yeah, I shifted perspectives, because then I could see the ain't shit ass baby mama side of things. Like, I've seen the ain't shit ass daddy side of things because I had ain't shit ass baby daddies, but now I'm seeing the ain't shit ass baby mama side of things, and I empathize, because bitches ain't shit. Sorry for the language, but it's true. Not all females are bitches, but the ones that are bitches, them bitches ain't shit. So anyway, his kids tried to break us, his ex tried to break us, but we never broke, and we're here today, and that is our lovely, lovely love story. And now we're all in a good place as a family. The mom is no longer in the picture, which is probably why we're all in a good place.